Hello and welcome to episode 179 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. I hope this episode finds you well. It's Dex, Punk and Worko here for you this week to talk everything Sheffield Wednesday. Pre-season is well underway. Not too much on the transfer front, but we're starting to get an idea of where this squad is going to be and where it's going moving forward. But we will start this podcast as we always do. Jake, how has your week been, mate?
It's not been the best. You lad know beforehand I kind of said it's not been the best, so having something to distract myself is actually kind of reassuring and stuff. Busy one on the channel, even though there hasn't been much. Randomly did a watch along for the vertebrae thing, and people are, oh, I'm glad you're doing this English commentary. I'm like, you really not watch the channel that much if you want English commentary, but okay. Good luck to you. But it was good. It was a good game, and yeah, it's first week of the summer holidays, and so far I have bought a motorised Gatling Nerf gun to keep her entertained, and it's kind of a bit of fun.
You've bought that for you, Jake?
I bought that for me, my wife, and McKenna to like shoot at each other, but it shoots 4 darts.
It's mainly for you, isn't it?
It shoots 4 darts per second. I'm having fun firing them at random people. And when I say random people, I mean random people.
Random people. You're not just walking down the street.
When I say random people, I mean random family members. AKA mainly me, my wife, because it hurts. Because I got one yesterday on the ear and it still stings now. But apart from that, it's just been a cool holiday, mate. Trying to find her entertaining. Luckily, she got into loom bands again, so she's doing all that at a minute. But apart from that, yeah.
Loom bands. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
That's just triggered something in my brain from childhood.
Yeah, that's currently
How
back.
are loom bands still around?
They're back all of a sudden.
My sister was obsessed with loom bands when we were growing up. And the back.
Yep.
I mean, I guess everything rotates back around.
Well, there you go.
So it's like now it's uncool to wear ankle socks, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're wearing shorts and ankle and
You're
like
wearing ankle socks.
No, not ankle socks. Not ankle socks. They're trainer socks. It's uncool to wear trainer socks. If you're wearing like short socks that go up to your ankles and you're in shorts, you look like you hover around playgrounds. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, you know what? To get your sister for Christmas now, you can get some loom bands and say these are back in fashion.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, like joke present.
Yeah. Well, I've just it's a birthday coming up actually, and we're playing. She's trying to like get, because she used to game a little bit when she was younger, and I said, "Oh, you've watched the Fallout series, sort of thing. How about you jump into 76 with me?" So she's been jumping into 76 with me a little bit, but her controller's awful, so I've just bought her a controller for her birthday because she's got one of them controllers that started to stick. But she's like, "Oh, I'm not spending money on a new controller," and I hate it when people are like that. It's like she's playing it on an Xbox One that I sold her when I bought my new stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'd literally just bought this really nice Xbox One S or whatever it was, you know, the nice one.
Yeah.
And I literally just bought it, and then 6 months later, the Series X and everything came about. So I moved, and I was like, "Here you go, you can have this really cheap." And I said, "Just please buy." No, sorry, an Xbox One S, not a Series S. I said, "Please just buy a Series S because it'll make your load time so much quicker. I leave a door and then I have to literally wait 3 to 6 business years for her to load in."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I can't deal with this." It's like, we'll do an event or something, and I'm literally just there mowing down all the enemies, and then 30 seconds later she spawns in.
You're like, "Oh, you've been busy?"
Yeah.
No? Why?
Yeah. All fun. But yeah, I've got her a controller that's actually going to work for her birthday. She refuses to buy one herself because she's younger than me, but like, I don't. She's one of those people that's like, "Oh, I feel like gaming. Like, I can't get obsessed. I want a life. I don't want to like get into gaming." And I'm like, Right, but you watch a load of films and TV. This is what I don't get. Everybody's got their wasting time, passing the time thing, whether it be scrolling on their phone, watching loads of films, watching loads of TV whilst they're scrolling on their phone. That's the same time that I put into video gaming because that is my pastime.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just like, eh. I mean, I will say that I should be putting more time into playing instruments like I used to, but because it's kind of my job now, I don't do it in my free time as much.
It feels more like work than it does actually doing it.
Even though I really do enjoy it when it's like I prefer to be like, I don't feel like work at all if I'm with other musicians. So like, say I've got a guitarist, my guitarist round or my drummer or something like that, and we're writing that way, that just feels like fun again.
Yeah.
But if I'm sitting down and trying to write, sometimes it does feel like work. Which is why wine helps, because then it just loosens everything up, which is not a way I'm promoting things, kids. Don't get liquored up for your creativity. But like, it kind of does work. I'm just saying. Anyway, Jack, how's your week been, mate? Sorry to hear that, by the way, obviously.
It's been very overwhelming in a really great way, because I've been
Why's
talking about it for
Jack?
ages.
What's happened in your world?
Shut up, man.
What? Are you a voice actor? Have you got a big part that you haven't gone on about?
Have you been in something? Have you been on are you like going to go on the tube and look at someone and go, they don't know I'm in this project, and you're going to know in your head that you're in this project?
Can I just tell you, there's that meme, there's like those Wojak memes, I think they're called, and it's the cartoon dude that's got like the scrumpled up thing. And there's a dude that's like stood at the back corner of the party, like with a drink on his own, and everyone else is socializing. And the caption is, "Nobody knows that I'm in this thing." And the amount of people that have sent me that and have added the Fallout London badge onto the thing saying, all of these people don't know that I'm in Fallout London. Basically Fallout London just came out, and the reception has been overwhelmingly positive, and so much so that literally like IGN, Forbes magazine, all these like huge things have made publications about it, and it's quite terrifying. Like when it's your first thing that you're in for the first, when it's your first outing in anything, and then it's ended up being this positively received. It's like, it's quite scary, but it's nice. It's nice that it's been so well received and everything. And then but that's what's happened. So if you've got, and can I just stress, right, if you plan on installing it, any of you listening or watching or whatever, just read the instructions on the installer, please. That's where so many people
wait until you
wrong.
hear like a well-known YouTube reviewer or something go, I really like the story and the quest. The voice acting was questionable, but like the actual
there's some people that have said that and have not actually really said it. They've just gone, oh, well, the voice acting was bad. Why do you think it was bad? It was just bad. It actually reminds me sometimes of Sheffield Wednesday fans talking about past players. Why was Reader Johnson bad? He was just bad. Okay, but why? He was just bad. It's that weird thing of like
a couple of the bits I've heard, like some of it, obviously, actually, the bits I've heard from Fallout London, a lot of the voice acting is top quality. Some of it is a bit too stereotypical, but I guess that's where they were going with the tone, so it's like.
It was trying to mirror the style of Fallout voice acting as much as possible, because
absolutely, and that's what I think would get lost on some people, you know, which is why I think you would get those comments on stuff. But in terms of the generalization of it, the one thing I will give you credit for, Jack, without making your head absolutely massive, is you can voice act, which is not always something people can do.
There's actually somebody that's ripped, like, there's one of the characters, I play a multitude of characters in it, but one of the characters that I play, someone has ripped the voice files for, like, all these individual characters in the whole thing, and they're slowly uploading it to YouTube, and it's just like, and it's a channel that's like voice acting in video games or something, and you just go on it, and then there's just all these individual videos of like, this character and all of their voice lines. And they've done it for so many games, and then they've started doing it for Fallout London as well. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is weird. This is really weird. But yeah, it's really nice. And
No, it's
yeah,
good,
just-
man. I'm
you got
glad
your
it's
first
finally
big
out
project
because
on
it's
you.
been a bit of a turbulent time, and you've been excited
Yeah.
about it for a while, and I'm pleased for you, mate.
But I know that I can't get too fixated on it, and I've got to focus on the next thing now because it's like, right, okay, this is out. What are you doing next? So that's
Good. That's good to
I've
hear because that's what you can fall into the trap.
From the Darren
You ain't going to
Moore
be at cons for
setup.
Fallout London. So that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. You need to get
Exactly.
yourself on the next project. It's a great stepping point, but you want to
You
be
got
higher
that
than
credit.
that. You want to be working on, as much as you can. And that's not me diminishing the project. It's actually just keeping you
definitely.
going. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's a fantastic project. And I would have been involved in it if you'd got me involved like you said you would.
Look.
But there we go.
Yeah, I just saw the open casting call and took the chance.
Why didn't you?
It was everywhere, James. It's your own fault that you missed it. I'm afraid.
That's all right, mate. It's only my favourite project. And you went, oh, yeah, I'll send you some more information about this because you knew how busy I was. And then you just aired me and got the parts yourself. You're a terrible human being. But no, I'm pleased for you, mate. I am. I'm pleased for you, mate. No.
I'm really pleased for you.
It's annoying because I want to play it, but it's just you can't get it on Xbox because the file sizes and things like that. And
it's the
I
file
don't
size
want to
allowance on
reinstall
Xbox
Fallout on
needs
my
to be
PC and
increased.
downgrade everything. You what?
They did it. They did it for Starfield. They did it for Starfield. So do it for the other bloody Bethesda games. And there we go. Fallout London can come to Xbox.
But then Fallout London would have to work out how to actually get it working with a new update as well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they
Which
are
might be
working
an
on
issue.
that.
Come on,
Like,
come on.
that-
Look
that
at what
is-
happened in the world when one person thought, I'm going to change this source code and it'll make everything
I
better.
read,
And then
I
it
read
killed
somewhere
everything.
that was like an intern. That was an intern that was like, oh, why is that line of code in this Microsoft update? Yoink.
Yeah.
Delete it. And the whole thing just crumbled and it crippled infrastructure.
It's fine if it's a video game and it breaks, but when it breaks everything in the world like 2K was meant to, it's a little bit of a problem.
Yes. Yes.
How's your week been, James?
Well, it's all right. I've been wrapping some things up, finishing off some projects, things like that. Getting back on the exercise train properly. The exercise train. What an arse. Who says that? But like
You, apparently.
just trying to. Apparently, yeah. Trying to get a little
Soon,
bit
if you get on
fitter.
it, if you get on it long enough, some people will be looking at you and saying, what an arse. Because you've been doing your squats.
Oh, I took me a while to get. I didn't actually get that at all.
I just saw. I heard the like Windows 98 like dial-up internet noise over the top of you.
The AOL sort of thing, yeah.
'Cause-
What's amazing is while you're talking about all of this, you're lagging on my Discord, so it actually sounds like the AOL dial-up. Exactly, you're lagging on my Discord as it's doing that, and I don't think you can hear me properly because of that. Literally, as you were doing the dial-up noises.
That's all I heard.
yeah, we just heard. We just said. You said something then, and then you just turned into it. It was like you just sucked a really sour lemon, and you were just frozen. Like, it was really funny.
Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about now.
you were
You've been-
talking about
you've finished a
that
load
you
of
got back on the
projects.
exercise train and finished a load of projects.
Oh yeah, finishing off some projects, getting things ready, having a couple of weeks. Me and Soph are going to do. We decided to go against the holiday idea this year, and realized we've moved to a new area, and we have not explored the peak points of interest around the area.
Good idea.
Like in like an hour's radius. So we're gonna. Soph's taking some time off work. I've obviously just wrapped up some projects, so we're gonna.
Explore.
We're basically gonna go and have a look at some bits, do the bits that people usually travel to this region for. So it's spend the money that we would have spent on a holiday for that. Why are you smirking, Jack?
Because for some reason, he talks about wrapping things up, and then he said, "Oh, then he said about exploring the local area." So I just immediately thought of some sort of awful pop-up ad that's like local sites in your area where you can go and look at some bits. And That's why I was just laughing to myself.
I think you need to put your Chrome
Do
back
you have
in.
the little Call of Duty monkey with the symbols in your brain?
Yeah.
Speaking
like on that
of, I started
Simpsons
playing.
episode when Homer Simpson
Yeah.
has the thought bubble and it's the monkey just clapping the symbol. Yeah.
I've started playing Call of Duty Zombies. Me and my mate jumped in last night, because they put it on Game Pass.
Yeah,
Oh my! It's like it's an entire game
Yeah.
now. It's like not even
Yeah.
a mode.
It's
It's
weird.
just a game.
it's. I was playing it the other night as well. I enjoyed it. I properly enjoyed it. I hadn't enjoyed zombies in a long time.
Yeah, no, we enjoyed it quite a lot. I'm kind of annoyed actually because he's gone to see his family today, so we can't jump back in today. And I'm like, I want to play video games.
Well, remember with you having Game Pass and anyone else who got a Game Pass, were able to try zombies on Black Ops day one because it'll be on Game Pass, won't it?
Exactly. And what a lot of people, they put Modern Warfare 3 on there, but yeah, what a lot of people don't realize, I don't think, is they've actually, Modern Warfare 2's on there as
Yes,
well.
it is.
You've just got to go and manage your content and add it.
Yeah.
Because they've put Call of Duty HQ
file
on
size
there.
are ridiculous.
The file size is ridiculous. I'm
290
like,
gig.
I've had
They've
to
effectively
delete-
made Modern Warfare 3 the DLC to Modern Warfare 2 that it was always originally planned to be, and they just expanded it into a full new release.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
what they
it.
did.
Yeah.
However, they are putting they've built Call of Black Ops 6 off the back of it as well.
I
So,
am.
I reckon they'll probably do that.
I am slightly looking at probably getting Black Ops 6 as well.
We're all getting it. Or are you buying it?
I'll be buying it because I can't play very well on Xbox controllers.
What?
I'm really bad with Xbox controllers. I'm better with PlayStation controllers.
That's weird because I'm the complete other way around because the PlayStation controller just feels weird in my hands.
See, I used to be able to use the Xbox controller a lot, and then I got heavily into playing the PlayStation for 2 years solid and didn't touch it, and it's all I know now.
No, it's the PS5 for me. I like I'm playing Resident Evil 4 on the PS5 at the minute, and it's great for stuff like that.
What? Your
But for stuff
PS5
like
is
FIFA
working? You're actually using it?
Yeah. Well, I was but a place I work had a cash converters near it, so I was like, I'll go in there and have a look. And there was Resident Evil 4, the PS5 version, for $9.99, and I was like, I'm getting that.
Yep.
So I got it, and then I got home and I looked at the sticker, and clearly it said Resident Evil 4 on my receipt HD. So they'd clearly priced up,
Wrong one.
because they've literally, because it shouldn't be that price. They've put the HD remaster price on the remake.
Basically, someone done the old eBay checking, it go for this much, done, okay, we'll sell it for that, and not put the right thing on.
No, it's not even that, mate. Because on eBay it goes for 25.
Does it? All right, fair enough then.
Yeah. So it's they've got, because there's two versions of Resident Evil 4. There's the HD remaster, and there's the
total
remake
remake,
as
isn't
in
there?
Resident as in Resident Evil 4. So what they've done is they've seen Resident Evil 4 PS5, put the sticker on, and it's the remaster price, not the remake price.
This is your timestamp for 21 minutes of the waffle. We will get into Sheffield Wednesday news now.
Oh, we're going to waffle for 40 more minutes. What are you on about? Jack, tell us more about Fallout. No, please don't. We'll talk about Fallout London.
Thanks. What? Yeah, okay.
I actually
Maybe
am
it's
really
time to
interested
revive
in
the
it.
James Over channel.
I was going to for Fallout London, believe it or not. I was going to
There
do
we
that
go.
for you. Do you know what? I might still do it. Sod it, I'll do it for you, Jack.
To be honest, it actually does run quite well on any system built in the last sort of
I've got a decent.
If your system can run Fallout 4, then it will be fine. So,
my system can run Cyberpunk, so
there we go. It'll be fine.
yeah. I tell you what, is the agreement then? I'll do it, and as I'm playing it, let's do voice actor commentary.
One of those old
yeah.
DVD special features, and you can turn on the commentary from the old Game of Thrones box sets where you got Kit Harington and Emilia Clarke talking over the episode. I remember filming that. Haha, that extra shot.
I think that could be fun.
I think that could be quite fun.
Would you be up for doing that?
Yes.
Would you be up for doing that? Right,
Yes.
let's sort that project next 2 weeks. We'll sort that out. I'll get you involved.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Cool. Because that is a good way to revive the channel, actually. Playing Fallout London with one of the voice cast.
Yep.
It's a good way to get it. Because for some reason, I leave that channel for ages and then I come back and a video's done like 10 to 20K and I'm like, what is happening? It's still only got like 200 subs, but it's like the videos do well. Right.
He did one
And it's
video
not
and it was like
monetized.
remaking characters from a TV show in Sims 4 and it got like 15K or something and it was just like bloody hell.
I still need to do a few more of them, but
I
yeah.
hope you enjoy the taste of syrup, dear viewers and listeners, because that was, timestamp is now.
23:17.
Well, yes, there we go. There we go. Because some of you are boring and don't like to listen to our lives. You just want the Wednesday news now. But no,
We
I'm just
purposely
kidding.
don't
I'm just
speak
kidding,
to
of
each other
course.
as much in the week so we could actually catch up on the pod.
Yeah,
Which
pretty
is
much.
nice.
Yeah.
Because
Can you
you're here
imagine
for
if we
us,
had like
not
a
just
player
the
guest on? Like the
news.
Wednesday week had Liam Palmer on the other week, and can you imagine we're just like, hang on, sorry Liam, for 20 minutes we just
Yeah,
talk
for 20
about
minutes we just
Fallout.
talk
Anyway. Okay, so the pre-season for Sheffield Wednesday is well underway. There is talk from Danny Rule that we aren't done in the transfer window yet, but the progress is slowing in certain situations. The Star are also reporting about, talks about Bundesliga loans and Danny Rule making an admission. So I'm just going to sort of read you this from the Star and we can go off of that. So it reads as follows. Speaking to the Star from their Bavarian training camp, the Owls boss admitted the possibility of loans from the Bundesliga had been explored, but that it had proven difficult. He went on to hint the identity of one player he concedes they missed out on to a major club able to offer a more advanced opportunity. Quote, "We were looking for some loans from Bundesliga, but this is sometimes not possible," Rule said. They may go from a big club to Stuttgart, for example. Stuttgart are playing in the Champions League. There is a player we were interested in. We had a good talk, but this is normal. We have to look at our ESC. This is also important and what is possible and what is not possible. In which position alone is always nice to have, but it is important for us and we will be important this season. But we have also signed players to us. These are our players and this is what we need. We will see at the end. Though Rule stopped well short of naming the mystery player Wednesday missed out on, it could well be that it is Franz Kratzig, who made the loan switch from Bayern Munich to Stuttgart last month. The left-footed defender is a Germany youth international and would fit the profile of the Owls boss is looking to bring to the club. Swiss international Fabian Reider is a lively attacking midfielder, is the only other player to have been loaned from Stuttgart this summer from French club Rennes. So, looking in the big pools there, it's also mentioning, if you don't know what the ESC is, that is our
elite
slot.
signature
That is
contribution, basically, is what it stands for. It's the
yeah. You get some slots basically where if a player doesn't meet work permit stance, you can bring them in.
If people remember when we were trying to get the set piece coach, that's why we couldn't get him in. He didn't meet that in terms of footballing stuff.
Yes, and not getting political at all, but this is just generally, I think Brexit's made it a lot harder, which means players from Germany, for example, that wouldn't have needed to meet this criteria before now have to meet a certain criteria, which if you play Football Manager of any of the sorts, you are very well experienced in the fact that now you can't just raid Europe for all of the talent because half of the young players in Europe do not fit that bill. So you'd have to use one of your ESC slots for them because
I think it's four. Is it four? It's four slots, isn't it?
It's 4 slots, yeah. So after they moved it, they changed it. So there's more slots now. And I think that's probably a direct correlation to Brexit and the fact you can't bring a load of players in like you could before, which you could argue over time will benefit the English system, the British system, bringing our own players through. But also, you would suggest that it's potentially going to make foreign clubs stronger, which actually means that like you're gonna have a lot more German talent staying in Germany, Spanish talent staying in Spain, things like that. And then if they can't go, they can obviously go to the different leagues across Europe, but they won't. A lot of players want to go to the Premier League, and it's going to be harder to get into the Premier League from youth level. So yeah, there's that side of it there. But finding out we're going to miss out on players like this, but the fact that we're still looking, Jake, what do you think?
I think it's interesting because I think we were always going to be looking at everywhere. Like looking, if you actually look at what we did in January, we looked everywhere for different players. We've already got one player in from Bundesliga 2 in Svensson Ingelsson. And I think it the direction we're going in now. It's not we're just looking at like somebody in the championship. We are looking everywhere to try and get players in. Now, I don't think we're done by a long shot. I think we're about 4 players, maybe 5 players short. But the thing is, we've only got about 4 spaces left ourselves in the squad before we've got to register, because we've got a couple of under 21 we don't have to register. So that's fine. They can be in. But the problem will be is like a next season when we will have to register like a Charlie McNeil, a Gassama. We're going to have to think carefully what we do about them. But right now, it's good that we're looking everywhere, trying to see what. And I think the thing is, I'm not particularly worried. There've been so many people, because we've been away on training, have been like, oh, we're not doing any more business and we're done. It's like, no. If you look at what Danny has said to press conference and said in the media, he liked to have long 2-hour conversation with players. If he's on the training pit for 3 to 4 hours, he's not going to have a chance to go make a phone call for 2 hours and sit and speak to a player. I think it was realistically, we were never going to do anything while we were away. But the fact that we're still looking says to me that they aren't slowing down. They are still wanting it. The fact that we got 9 players in already is incredible. It's better than we ever could have thought it being. But we're just looking for those last little ones.
There was also a cheeky grin from Danny Roll when on the talks of Ugbo and the like. So it's almost as if there has been conversations happening there.
It's just like they were waiting for them all to get back to England to then actually officially announce it or something like that. That's what the cheeky grin kind of said to me. But yeah.
But yeah, Jack, carry on then. So
to be honest,
what are you feeling about all this?
It fills me with a lot of hope that we're not just going for like, sod it, they're available, let's just get them in. Like, it fills a slot. We're actually going for some real top class talent. If we're going to the likes of bloody like Bayern Munich, who've just loaned that player to Stuttgart and stuff like that, and players that were recently in the Premier League in Max Lowe and these sort of really ultra talented players, and not just like, I don't know, Kamil Zayat, he'll fill a gap at centre half. Like, yeah, let's get him in. Great. It's not, those days are sort of behind us under Danny. And it just, even though we've missed out on Poveda, who we had a very interesting debate, if you want to go back and look at that little breakout on James' channel. It was also on a Sunderland fan forum.
We might create one later, to be honest.
Yeah,
it could be a laugh.
Yeah. But we've missed out on players like that, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world and that we haven't. I think we've signed better quality wingers than Poveda personally so far, but
right, leave the Poveda stuff because we can make it its own topic.
I'm just teasing it, James. It's the art of the tease. But I just think that oh my god. Yes. But I just I really like that we're keeping the standards high with who we're wanting to go for and not settling for less, you know? And considering that we had like, what was it, 5 or 6 signings that were in, and then it was the anniversary of when we appointed Zisco. And we'd made, and at that point, there was nothing last summer.
2. James and Johnson.
Yeah. There was, other than that, absolutely nothing. So it's good. It's improvement. So I don't know why people are panicking.
No, I don't think people are. I think it's
there's been nothing in 2 weeks. I need the stimulation. That's what it will be, won't it?
Pretty much, because it's because we were doing business all the time. I still think that like Chalobah could be one of those signings that we are sleeping on.
Chalobah was incredible. Oh my god, that first half, like they couldn't. I'm excited. Him and Bannon in midfield. Oh my God. Anyway, yes.
It is exciting. That is exciting. Because let's talk about it. So you streamed the game against Werder Bremen, Jake.
Yep.
How did you feel that went? We can actually do a match day analysis.
I think it went really well. I think first 2 halves of 60, we did struggle a little bit. You could tell they were some of the fringe players or the players getting up to fitness. I thought Chalobah in midfield was really good. There was a bit where he was playing it out from the back and he was constantly, nobody was coming towards him. He just went, come forward. And there was a bit in that first, I think it was the first one where Danny had the football, the ball with all the magnetic stuff to do all the formation stuff. And you had it where it was like, get closer here now. And it was nice seeing someone that could understand it. I thought, I tell you something who looked good. Charlie McNeil got a really good passing range and started to move the ball around. Pitcher pulled off an excellent double save. Really good. I think we had a slight issue with Gabriel, one of the youngsters. He looked a little bit all at sea.
Yeah, like Gabriel Osho looked quite shaky or nervy or something.
And I think that's going to happen when your youth team play. It's about seeing what worked, but they show what they could do. But I think for me, once we started seeing the other second halves, you saw what the actual team might be a bit soon, and it looked very promising. And the thing is, even when they broke, there were really good tackles going in. I'll echo what Windass has said about Svensson Ingolson. He is an absolute beast. He does not care what he's going to do. He will throw his body, even if it's a pre-season friendly. There was a bit where they were attacking in the box and he just launched himself. Also, there was some very
dive, didn't he?
Yeah, there was some very, very spicy tackle from Jan Valery and Marvin Johnson.
Yes.
You wouldn't have guessed it with the pre-season. They were all gearing up ready for
they were like full on, this is a first team game. Yeah.
And I think
I was like, when I saw Johnson was so late with one of his challenges, I was like, Jesus Christ, you're going to put somebody out in pre-season here, mate.
It was interesting, though, that Danny and the Werder Bremen coach have said they liked that aggression, though. The player might have been getting a bit annoyed, but it sounded like the Werder Bremen manager was like, no, this is what you're going to expect when we get to the season. So I'm glad they've gone in on
Aren't they
you.
kicking off very soon as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need that.
We were effectively facing all of those German teams at the very, very end of their pre-season.
And
so that's why Champions League side put so many past us, because they're a Champions League team, and 2, they've had their preseason now, they're ready.
Yeah, and the 2 goals
why aren't we listed on there?
The 2 goals we got were very, very good.
Yeah.
Gassama fainted to just get a shot, really good shot. And I thought Masaba, when he went in the box, just looked good. He could have passed it to Jamal Lowe.
Masaba, oh my God.
They both, Gassama and Masaba, have both just gone, right, we need to bulk. Even Bailey have bulked up. They are not going to get knocked off the ball as easy like they did last season.
Yeah, so let's actually go into that then. So, Bailey Cadamartri, do we think he is going to be in and around the squad this season? Do we think he's going to be loaned out potentially? Do we think he's ready to make that step up? Obviously, he broke through last season. There's a lot to be expected of a young player developing. You've got to manage his minutes properly. Jack, how do you feel like we're going to manage him this season? Where do you think he's going to go with us?
I can see him having a similar amount of game time to how he did. Well, effectively, if you multiply it by 2, because it was the second half of the season where he was actually being used. But with how he was coming on and doing so well, and he actually scored a decent amount of goals, I thought, considering he was a youngster that was breaking into the first team, and then he just kept scoring. I can see him
he got four goals in the league and 1 assist in 23 appearances, and a lot of those were sub appearances. So
that's not bad going.
And I think if you multiply that by 2, because I think he's going to get used that sort of amount, but for the whole season now. I can see him being an excellent bench striker that will come on and do some damage, and then maybe work your way a bit like I guess we're doing it with Pierce Charles to becoming the first choice in the net in the next couple of years or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think the plan probably is to have the strike. If we're going to go with a front 2 at any point, the long-term future options are going to probably be Charlie McNeil and Cads together. Because I think with how they were both playing as well, I think they'd work very, very well together. And I can just see that being kind of... I can see him and McNeil being used in similar sort of ways in that regard, actually.
That's the thing, because we've got two young strikers now, and McNeil's obviously highly rated as well. Jake, what are you thinking on Cadamarteri?
I'm in the same boat, but I'm also in this kind of thing where you got to remember with McNeil and Cads, we don't have to register them. So they're actually valuable being in and around the squad just in case there is something that you've got tired legs and you need something to throw on. I think if you actually look at the progression that he's had since pre-season now, he looks a different player. In that pre-season game, he was running into players and doing tackles. He looks like he'd been in the gym and properly just bulked. And as a striker, you want that because you've got the hold-up play that you can hold off a player while you've got someone like, say, a Gassama or Masaba running down the other side to make that base. That's going to be really helpful. Because the thing is, I'm at this thing where he probably, with the way he was trying to play, he's your Michael Smith replacement down the future, the one that holds the ball up and makes base, but can also turn on a dime and do the running in behind. And I'm excited to see a Cads McNeil partnership. I won't lie. They look really good. It's the first time in a long time you look at this squad. We got people in different positions where the potential, and we haven't had that for a while. For the longest time, it's been a 27, 28-year-old. It's like, right, can we do this? But then can we get some sell-on value from him if he does really well here? There's actually, if you actually look at it, there's lots of potential around it. And I think Cads will play a big part in maybe just coming off the bench. Maybe there's some games where he'll earn his start, because you've seen that Danny's not scared. If you do well in training and you're doing really well, he won't be scared to turn and say you're playing.
Mm-hmm. I've just done some maths, right? And I've looked at the minutes of Cads and Ugbo.
Yep.
So if you do the maths and divide the minutes by the games over the 90, Ugbo scores a goal on average every 2.7 games.
Yep.
Okay. That's over the course of the season. That's not just with us. That was his entire championship season last season.
Yeah.
Cadamarteri, based on his minutes, he's had less minutes. A goal every 3 games. So it's close. They're very close in that regard. So it's a case of, with time, obviously that's just a stat that I wouldn't read too much into. But if you look at, a lot of people do base things on stats. It's not bad. You know, if we're talking about Ugbo as somebody that we're potentially going in for big money for.
Remember also that one of the reasons that Ugbo came in, Bailey got injured. Bailey had a little injury in that period. I think if he didn't get injury and Pato didn't get injury, you probably still get Ugbo, but maybe it's not as productive for Ugbo.
Yeah.
Because of how he was playing.
I think he's. We won't loan him out. As you said, he's strengthened up this summer. I think he's going to be. I don't think it'll be a make or break season for him, but I think it will definitely be a season of. We've got Charlie McNeil there. They're going to push each other. Yeah. We've got options.
Yeah.
And we don't know if Ugbo's going to be through the door. I don't think we'll rely on these two youngsters. Don't get me wrong. I think we do need somebody like an Ugbo to come in and actually be.
You need a number 9, don't you? You need an actual proven number 9.
Yeah. He's still only 19. You don't pin it all on him. But if you go based off his start at Wednesday, I think he's shown enough, and he's got the desire and the commitment to be a player that in the next couple of years he could be that for us. So,
and by
if I was to put a prediction on it,
by that time his little brother could be around the first team.
Oh yeah,
his little brother just
exactly.
good.
His little brother's scoring a hatful, isn't he, for the Wednesday juniors? Yeah.
Well, Cadamarteri always. That's the thing. He was that player that was always scoring in the youth team, and we were like, when's he going to get his opportunity? And now it's just about having a manager that can manage him properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. His ceiling could be higher than that, though.
Yeah.
And under the right sort of manager like Danny Rull, it really could be that he's just got to keep his feet on the ground, keep working, doing the right thing. Clearly, obviously, as we say, if he has bulked up and he's been doing that, he's trying to become a more physical player as well. It could be a case of I think he will get, as you said, he will get time across the entire season. This time, he'll be put in the team to be around, and I think his minutes will. I would be interested to see at the end of the season if we look at his minutes and I do the same sort of maths I just did. So I'll try and remember to do that. If I wouldn't be surprised to see it be he score more goals and improve that stat. You know, I reckon. I mean, if he ends up being a player that scores like a goal every 2 games, you're looking at a player that is a top end player.
That's a 20 goal season. Are you looking
at a goal?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's how close he is.
Well, sorry. And if you're also looking at a player that does that, you'd look potentially at what can we use you want to keep a player, but then you go, okay, what can we do as a deal where we say we sell him to a Prem club, but then we say, also we want 20% sell-on fee if you sell him on again.
Yeah.
I know people don't like thinking about that side of it, but you have to when it's deep.
You have to now, really. And can I just
absolutely.
say as well, the other option, the sort of alternative of Charlie McNeil pushing each other and whatnot, the only reason Man United got rid of him and let him go is because there were too many players coming through their youth academy that would have made it into the first team, and they want the branding aspect. Charlie McNeil was actually hyped up and whatever else as much as Kobbie Mainoo was.
Oh yeah,
because they were in the same class, and the only reason Charlie McNeil got released was because of the fact that Man United need we want a big name striker. We don't. There's too many that are like coming through the academy now. We need the branding. We need to get Man United back up there as one of the big brands and blah blah blah. And that is one of the big motivators behind them letting go of Charlie McNeil. Yes,
that's what's
Charlie
interesting actually. No, I think if you look at the stats, and I don't like basing everything off stats because football's not played on stats, but it's very helpful. He's got a similar amount of minutes in League 2, and his stats are actually technically worse because he's actually got a very, very almost identical number of minutes to Cadamarteri in the Championship in League 2, but he's only scored half the goals that Cadamarteri did. So he scored
a lot of the time they weren't playing him in his proper position. They weren't actually playing him in a striker position,
exactly.
Like
so there's that side of it. Because if you look at his in the under-18 Premier League, in 35 appearances, he scored 29 goals, but that's the under-18s. You know, it's that.
Because
it's not got the physicality of it, but
I think that's something that a lot of people said in the stream chat as well of yours, Jake, was that Charlie McNeil, he was a striker, but he was passing it and had the vision of a midfielder.
Yeah.
And it was like really, really interesting to see kind of thing. And
he got a good...
Well, you've got to be a bit of an all-rounder in those situations.
Yeah, you can
in
play
those
him as
clubs.
You can play him as a 10 if need be. So you could potentially see him do a kind of... He may not come on as a striker. Maybe him and Bailey come on at the same time and you put him in a 10-roll wedge off Windasses.
Yeah, or Svante.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at a lot of options. It's nice, isn't it?
It's really nice.
Yeah. So, Sheffield Wednesday. This is from Darren Whitcoop on Twitter. I take it he's a journalist, Jake, because I've only just got the tweet, but you've put it in there. For Wednesday, he said that Ugbo and Dembele wanted still. Do feel they will get Ugbo done, but doubts over a Dembele deal. There's a lot of interest in Dembele.
Bolton being one.
Yeah.
Which
it's one of those situations that let's actually talk about this because Alan Nixon has written about Ugbo. So let's talk about Ugbo specifically here, then we'll talk about Dembele. He said, Sheffield Wednesday will have to find around $4.5 million to sign striker Ugbo from French side Troyes. Whilst Danny Rule wants Ugbo back, but Owls won't go to that level and hope to agree a compromised figure. Birmingham City are also keen, but the Canadian international may not fancy dropping into League One. They have got the money for it, but that would be a bit mad. $4.5 million for me is a sticking point. because it's like there's got to be a compromise on that.
Yeah.
I think in my mind now I'm going, just accept 3 and let's get it over with, because there's personal terms to agree with as well. And
Well,
that's the
personal
thing.
agreements are
How are
already
you
a term.
feeling about this one, Jake?
Well, personal terms are apparently already done.
Right, okay, cool.
That's not. I'm in two minds. I kind of had a thought about it, and I've kind of also seen some in where the market is at the minute. It is about right figure what they want when you think about what he'd done in the championship last season. You got 7 goals in 17 for us. What did he get when he was at Cardiff? Let me find the stat. So that's overall.
If he got 7 for us, he got 5 for Cardiff.
So he got 11 goals in 38 appearances in the championship, which, you know what, for a loan, that ain't bad. But I think they are asking a lot for him when his market values about 2.8 million euros according to Transfer Marketplace. And that's adding a big...
Yeah, if that's
true,
yeah.
it's adding a lot onto it. And it's like, we have a habit, Wednesday, and it's a bad habit, but it's a good habit because we get loan. We make loan players really, really good and really valuable again. And that we've done that for years. That's why people like loaning players to us, because we can make them look really good and do well. I think if you do something
right,
like...
so can I, in terms of the... Sorry, do you want you finish your point and then I'll talk to you about the transfer fee? Sorry.
Yeah, go on. For me, if you do a deal that's 3 to 3.5 and then add-ons, that's more like it. But it's how you get the add-ons. Is it going to be on appearances? Is it going to be on goals? Is it going to be if we get to a playoff or we get promoted, you get X, Y, and Z? Because remember, Troyes are not short of money. They just got 30 million for Savinho from Man City. They are part of the City group. They are part of the City.
They're also taking the mick, Jake, because I'm looking at this now, right? When they bought him for 3 million euros. In today's money, that's about £2.5 million, right?
Yeah.
They bought him, that was in 2022. Then they immediately, pretty much the next season, loaned him to Cardiff. And then they've only had him since, 2022. And he's been on loan. And now they're wanting £2 million more than they paid. Okay? So it's a case of like, you've loaned him, you've probably not had to pay too much of his wages.
Yep.
And you're wanting a massive upturn in the profit. I could see 3.5 million as being a fair fee, because you then make your money back on what you've paid for whatever percentage of his wages, and you make 500k or whatever on top. So that for me is the move. The fact that they want to make a lot more money on him is sort of like, I don't think you're in the position to do that potentially, because you've been relegated and you've got to ship out these players. Don't care if you've got the money and you're part of the City group. There is a wider football structure that you have to adhere
do the
to.
wage budget, or you potentially turn into a Bordeaux that we've just seen recently, which is very sad. You don't want to see it, and you don't want to see any club go like that, or for the fans. I think for me, it feels a little bit like, I think when Deal's old, would have probably gone, yeah, there you go, got it. I think we're being smart.
Yeah. Jack, how do you feel about this one?
They might have, as effectively all of the chatter around, Chansiri's turning a new leaf. That's only really chatter here in the Championship. There's not much of that side of it going around outside of that world. And maybe they might have the influence of, look at how much Chansiri spent in 2016 when he was buying Jordan Rhodes for X amount of money. That's that's an owner that will spend stupid amounts more than a player is actually worth. And so that's influencing.
If that is his market value, by the way, Jack, they're basically asking for double, because his market value will work out to about 5.3 million euro, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's only a couple of 100k off double his market value, which for me is just.
Yeah.
I understand he's a good player, but that is just they're asking a lot.
And I think the problem that's going against us is that demand for that exact sort of striker is stupidly high in the Championship right now. Pretty much every single team wants one that has that sort of the real dynamic ability that Ugbo showed that he has last season. And
I don't think a lot of teams are set up for this, though. Apart from the teams at the top, which aren't interested in Ugbo, I don't think teams are set up that way for him. Which is why it's like, because a lot of them don't play like us. We are a front-footed side. Yeah. And a lot of the teams around us have got a different system. So I understand why Birmingham might want to do what they're doing, right? But they're going to... who have Birmingham got on the wings? Because they're going to have... I
think the problem is that Birmingham are doing is that, oh, look at us, we're talking about Birmingham, even though they're not in our league anymore, like a certain other blooming thing on Twitter. But like what the Birmingham lot are doing is they're just basically doing a Todd Bowley, like, oh, they were a name that was thrown around a lot last season. Yeah, let's do that.
The problem
let's go for that player. Let's go for that player because they were talked about a lot.
But remember, they could also then end up doing a Pompey. Yeah, Pompey did that when they came up with Paul Cook. The problem you got with a big... the problem you got...
Sorry. It's staying in. Carry on. Carry in the cook.
The problem you got is it doesn't always work to throw money at it. They are apparently looking at Jay Stanfield at Fulham.
Yeah, Jay Stanfield.
And they want 6 million Fulham. And that's a lot.
But they've just signed Alfie May.
I know. I know. I can see this being their backup because they can pay that 4.5 and it not be an issue. But again, it's another one thing. Does he want to go down to League One? I suspect not. I also have a suspect.
Their ownership's ambitious, and that's the problem. You've got in terms of the competition, it could happen because they could throw money at it. I don't think it would necessarily be great for Birmingham. I think what the business they're doing so far has been good. I think Ugbo for a 4.5 million fee would be a sideways move. They've got to be careful as well because we know that League One isn't... Ipswich did it, right? They spent the money, but if Ipswich hadn't have performed, they would have been in so much trouble now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Financial fair play would have got them.
They would have been screwed.
So Birmingham have got to be careful how much they chuck at it because we know we had a record points tally in League One without getting automatic promotion, right? And we didn't throw loads of money at it. We did it based off freeze, basically. Yeah. We did throw in the second season. We did throw a bit at Michael Smith and Awekwe and the likes, but that was in terms of contracts.
Can I just throw another name for you, though? We're saying about Ugbo.
Go on.
We had a look at Maguire in the summer, and he's still not gone anywhere. What says we don't suddenly have that because he's not wanting to sign a deal at Orlando? And the thing is, he's younger, but the thing with him is you got him, he's unproven in the championship. The thing is what we're having we are paying for someone who's proven. That's what we're paying for. We're not paying.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about Maguire anymore because I think he had his chance and he blew it for me.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If Ugbo came in and not had done as well as he did, he'd be 2.8 million.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I think 3.5 is fair. And I agree with your do put add-ons on it. But Birmingham City, they're an ambitious side. They are looking to get things together. I don't think they need. I think Ugbo would be a sideways. I don't think it'd be a move that fits for them.
All I'm going to say to Birmingham, it's all right throwing all the money in the world at it, but can you do it on a wet, soggy Thursday night in Burton? Because we bloody well couldn't.
Yeah, every side that threw money at the team couldn't do it in blooming Burton. Like Christ.
I'll never forget that loss to Forest Green Rovers.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, look at it, and I was just like, because I'd sat on the south and watched us put 5 past them earlier in the season. Then we went away, and oh my God, the fact that we lost.
Yep.
I was just like, which was a result that stopped us getting automatics as well.
Josh Windass actually admitted in one of his interviews over there. It was that video that he did where he was reacting to all his goals, and he actually admitted in the season that we got promoted in the playoffs, they actually took their foots off the gas because they thought it was too easy. They got a little bit complacent in the And that's exactly why Ipswich and Plymouth leapfrog.
Can we just talk about the Wednesday media team a minute? What has happened to them this summer? They're different. We're actually having some good videos.
Listen to the podcast or something. Everything we've said, they started to do. Fair play.
They've got these now. Look, have you know, Chalobah's signing interview. I wonder where they got these from, Jake.
It's weird because I think the idea of Windass reacting to goal, Barry Bannon's doing his favourite lineup.
It's fantastic.
It's
the next thing I would say to the media team listening, can I give them some advice?
Yes, hello, media team.
If they've been listening, start using gates, start EQing, start compressing. You've got all the gear now. Just do a little bit on the back end, especially when you're in like a coffee shop or something, and you can get rid of all the background noise with the equipment you've got. And don't clip microphones. I know you're using the handheld, which is what I would suggest keep doing. I've not got the thing on it here, but like, don't clip it here. So many mistakes I see is YouTubers specifically clip it here. Don't do that because you just blocked. You want chest volume, okay? I'm not giving any more tips. This is what you paid me for. But you want chest voice in there too. Just don't clip it there.
But it's really nice to see. It's just like even if Wednesday, this sounds like just spend a little bit more money and just buy the actual one that I got, where you can just sync it to it. Done.
Oh yeah, that new one. Yeah.
But it's good to see.
Jake's got so much gear. It's ridiculous.
Hey, hang on. I might have so much gear, but
I probably shouldn't say that if he shaves.
How much did me having the gear at Wembley help you out?
It did.
There we go.
It did. Yeah. And now I've got the. Did I take the pros or did I take the ones you gave Jack? Because I've got the.
You took the
fancy ones now.
You took the ones that Jack got, and I upgraded to the pros, and you got the pro when you came to mine, and we did the pod.
Yeah, I love those things.
Oh, they're so
fantastic.
good. They're so good.
Right. Jan Poveda has gone to Sunderland. We'll see where we go down this one. Jack.
I had a feeling like something like this had happened. And because he was on so much money, I mean, look, we don't know how much of it was to do with the player himself or how much of it was the agent.
Well, if you believe that transfer page, they're on 40k. He's on 40k a week at Sunderland. I doubt it.
And I've seen a lot of Sunderland fans go, is he hell?
Yeah.
And
but apparently that's included like appearance fees or something like that. Yes, we all play Football Manager. We know what you can add on there. Go on, carry on.
And I don't really like that he's gone there with how much he was bigging up. Like, this is the thing now. Any team that he now ever plays for cannot believe him when he starts properly like kissing the badge and being all about the fan base there and all about the club and all about this, that, because he was doing that for us last season. And if you had that much of a strong mindset towards it, you'd sign for them in the summer as soon as you possibly could. And he didn't do that.
It's the fact that he bought into the project and he went elsewhere.
Exactly.
And the talks are it was mainly agent stuff. And they couldn't work out personal terms. And I'm like, there is still footballers like that. And that's what. Can I just say, to preface this, I like Sunderland as a club. I like the fan base.
Oh, yeah, same.
Never had any issues.
Same here.
So this isn't a dig at the fan base before we start down that aspect. And I actually think he's gone to a big club, as if he would if he was here. I think we've got a mutual respect between the fan bases
not
there.
Long ago, weren't they? So it's, you know.
But it's a case of in terms of going there, it makes sense. But I just think it's weird that he bought into the project and fit the system, and he went somewhere that's more of a gamble because of agent and personal terms. I do think that's a bit on character. And there was obviously talk about, was he baiting when he went to Productive Wednesday on his Instagram with the thing when he held up the shirt and obviously with the... I know he signed on a Wednesday. I think it's really, really unfortunate, but I think it's a coincidence.
I generally think the Productive Wednesday was an agent thing to do. And the thing is, I've watched both interviews that he did when he came to Wednesday and when he came to Sunderland. The body language looks annoyed and pissed. at Sunderland, it looked like this isn't where I want to go. I suspect he want the years on contract has helped as well. He got a 4-year contract there. I think it's 3-year plus an option.
I think do you know if his
helped.
Injuries don't pan out, that is a massive risk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If he says he's fit, he's fantastic. But they've got to. I think they've got to wait 2 months for him. He looks like over the summer he's had a good summer. That's what I'm gonna say. He doesn't look like the same Poveda we had, kind of thing. The issue I've got is, I think when Danny did that interview with the star and Rob Statten at BBC Sheffield, I think he already knew the deal was done. It was dead. You could tell one player agrees this, and then we got another bit. We'll stick to our principles. I love that line. We will stick to our principles. That said to me, we ain't going to bend over. This is why I think the whole Ugbo thing's interesting. But it's the whole thing. Yeah, you might want to come, but we're not going to bend over for what you want if we don't think the deal's right. And I think for once in my time with Chansiri, I'm actually seeing Chansiri do that more and go, well, we'll look elsewhere then. If he doesn't he doesn't understand the project. Because the thing is, there's nothing saying that the project at Sunderland is going to work and they're not going to be scrambling around for another manager again. They have a habit of not giving it time to breathe, and then they're having to have a different manager for a different project. I
said in the last video, I wouldn't have wanted to pin all our hopes on Poveda, which is why I was glad we were still looking at players like Dembele. But actually, after pre-season, I'm even less concerned. You know what? After seeing Ingelsson on the ball, like the thing about Poveda is he is one of the best. Yeah, one of the best. Well, we just not seen him, had we? No. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of like actually see him in a Wednesday shirt and performing in a Wednesday shirt, but. Actually, Poveda is one of the best players on the ball I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
If you look at his stats aren't great because he's not that kind of player. He was very nearly with a lot of his chances, but what he does is he scares players. So when he's on the ball, a lot of potential. If you keep him fit, a lot of players, a lot of defenders, he'll put the fear of God into them. He'll draw them out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that is the benefit. I really do hope that he does beat his injuries, because I'm not going to backtrack from what I said when we last had this conversation. There is a hell of a player there if he can keep fit. If they keep
him fit, they've picked up a cracking free, just wages, and he'll do fantastic. And we're like, yeah, all right, fair enough. We missed out. Our bad. But I think in the position we're in, we can't do what we've done in the past, where we got players who had a sketchy injury record and gone, well, look at.
I'm questioning his character now, though. That's the thing, because of the deal situation, because of that's in there. And if that's the situation, they've had that before. I remember watching the documentary. Was it Rodwell they had or someone who just literally sat there on a contract
and just ran it down?
Yeah, and you don't want that at that club. No club deserves that, especially a club like Sunderland. So I really hope it doesn't become a case where they get 10 games out of him a season and he sits around, right? Yeah. Because if they have invested that in him, a club like that should see it back. So hopefully they do. It'd be interesting to find. I'm sure it'll come out in the wash. We probably won't follow it as much as we would if it was a Wednesday player, but we'll try.
I do want to just make
more about the contract.
A little bit ago, I found out this week. And it does go back to the Ugbo thing. Ugbo's agent got 3 players at Sunderland.
Yeah, there is. I remember a few Sunderland fans actually reached out to me and going, "I'm hearing sort of whispers that we might be interested in Ugbo as well, but there's nothing concrete." I will say though, be careful with that one, because it wasn't Poveda and Ugbo's link up; it was Musaba and Ugbo's link up. And if you want to pay us 20 million for Musaba, with a 50% sell on them, we might talk. But that was the link up with Ugbo. And I think that's going to be the sticking point for Ugbo and other clubs. Musaba.
Yeah.
But for the Sunderland fans watching this, you don't have to know that Musaba exists. So enjoy Poveda.
He's a figment of our imagination.
Exactly.
And, can I just say as well, Olaf Kabaki, when he was playing, actually looked
decent, actually.
More solid than Poveda. He was losing the ball a lot less. He wasn't getting muscled off it like Poveda always was last season. And that's what I was hinting at as well at the start when I was like, I think we've signed better players. When you look at when you look at Gassama and Masaba that we've already got, and then you look at Kabaki and Ingolson, and even Jamal Lowe as well, actually.
Yeah.
I think we've signed either equal or better than players than Poveda.
We have brought quality players in that weren't asking for the world. They saw the project.
Yeah, exactly.
Poveda saw the project and he let his agent get in the way of it, which is fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens. You know, going to Sunderland is not a backward step. They are a club very similar stature to Wednesday.
If they get it right, they'll be up there this season. But they got to get it right because they had a terrible season last year.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, let us know what you think about the Poveda situation in the comments. That's all I've got though this week, guys. It's been a fun one to talk about all of that. No new transfer links just yet. We're sorting out a schedule for watch-alongs. The Talking Wednesday season as ahead. We've got a lot going off. So it's going to be really fun as we kick the season off shortly. We're going to get all that in place and let you know. I will say, if you've reached the end of the podcast, EFL code in the community tab on here over at our Twitter. I've got a fancy EFL set up because it's finally available. A couple of Wednesday players in my team there. Are you boys on it yet?
I'm not done it yet. It's on my to-do list.
Yes. When you sign up, don't use your full name.
Right.
Because it literally, I tried it on an account. It used like, you put your name in it. It doesn't like, even if you change it, it doesn't change it. So
right, fair enough.
That's just for anybody who wants to who doesn't like all their details out there with everything. So that's an advice for people in general. When you sign up, just do that, change it there. But it is fun. It is going to be an interesting way to do it. I'm sure I'll forget to do it at about week 4 and get annoyed. But the codes are available on our Twitter in the community tab pretty much anywhere. You can see where I can post.
I know why you'll forget, because it'll be when EAFC's out. You'll be too busy doing that.
That's I'm gonna pre-order that.
I've already done it, and I feel
$89.99 on the deal.
Yep.
I don't think they take payment until it
comes all over again that we got last year.
Payment goes out straight away. I know,
mate, but I'm actually going to do content on it this year properly. So I'm quite excited for it.
From what they've shown so far, especially in Career Mode, it does seem like there's going to be a little bit of a change. It does seem like there's a little bit of change. I think 3rd of August we find out a little bit more about it. They take payment.
I'm going to do Career Mode stuff, but I'm actually going to lean in a little bit to more. I'm going to the dark side. I'm doing Ultimate Team stuff as well.
Ooh. You were on about payment, James.
All that childhood gambling addiction, that's going to be your fault, James. Buying all the packs. I'm kidding.
You were.
That's a joke.
You know how you were on about payment? Where they take payment straight away now when you pre-order.
For God's sake!
I thought they've always done that. For ages,
they've always done that. Yeah, they take payment straight away now. Sony, Microsoft, they all do it. The moment you pre-order, they take the money immediately.
I don't think they do if you use PayPal, because I still pre-order stuff.
I don't know about PayPal. We'll see. Most of the time, it always says, payment takes immediately.
I thought payment came out when, 7 days before the game.
What? Are you getting a physical copy?
No. I'm going to get, because you get the 10% off, don't you, for the champions? And it's worth it to, it's not worth it. It's never worth it. Don't get me wrong. I'll start skipping them probably. You know, when the new FIFA game comes out and stuff, I'll probably start skipping installments. But for now, we'll make the comments. We'll make the content on it, because I have actually really enjoyed it. I've stopped playing now pretty much. I'm playing a little bit for the end of it, but I really enjoyed the last game, and it wasn't perfect, but I got into the cycle, so it was worth it to me. I've put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I didn't enjoy Career Mode at all, but I enjoyed Ultimate Team. Evolution's changed everything for me. Being able to have Wednesday players that were usable changed things for me a lot. So that's why I'm looking forward to the new one, because they're investing in that a little bit more. They're making it more exciting. You can change, I know it sounds a bit lame, but you can change the graphics a little bit more of the players, so you can have different Wednesday players with different looks.
They could make a really good video for you on your channel talking about it, because there's some good stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Dave's done stuff, make a video on it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's literally a video.
I'm not doing any of that today, though. because I'm going to go and have some lunch now, and then I'm going to play Resident Evil, I think. And actually, no, I'm going to get this podcast done because I want it out. It's coming out later on the Sunday, but I'll probably put it out this evening. So let's get those files over to me, boys, and we'll get this podcast out if my internet decides to upload. But that's it for this week's episode of Talking Wednesday. Take care, guys, and we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.
Auf Wiedersehen.